to send a message through WhatsApp is 0809 On Twitter, we're at Smooth981FM. The hashtag is Business Express 981, and we're streaming live on YouTube as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Valentine. Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Yes, yes. So the market on Friday, 0.67%, which was positive. However, March finished up in the negative zone. I did say the market didn't do at least, what, 1-2% on that day. It wouldn't, the month would end negative. So I think 2.47% is where March closed. For the year, we're down by 1.24%. 31,041 points is what we saw on the market. 11.6 trillion naira is where the market capitalization closed. I think Ikeja Hotel was our top gainer. Equity Assurance was our top loser. Lots of requests received over the weekend for us to try and explain what's going on in the latest saga between Innocent and GT Bank. Unfortunately, we don't have any lawyers here, but we'll do our best. Yeah, Olamide, we're going to do our best. So can you help us out? Innocent, and they've done this before. I can't remember the last time they had a judgment, which wasn't quite what it was. They put out this whole social media PR thing saying they had gotten a massive judgment against GTB. It turned out it wasn't the case. But here they are again, 2019. Innocent says they have taken over GTB. I suspect this help us out. Has Innocent taken over GTB?
Well, taking over a bank doesn't get that. It's not that easy, really.
Right.
So what has happened is Innocent got a writ of FIFA.
Okay.
A writ of FIFA, sorry, and he gives it he only empowers the judgment creditor to actually get to seize the assets of its debtor to the certain amount, to the judgment amount, basically.
Okay.
So I mean, we already know that the case is actually not against GT. Is the case at the initial stage is actually against the Nigerian customs, and I think it was up until the tune of 2.4 billion. GTB tried to make an appeal to the Supreme Court and to other courts, and it was actually it was overruled. So the judgment was for them to actually make the sum available via I mean, it's against the assets of Nigerian Customs Service.
Right. So just and since you're going to be taking over the show starting tomorrow, you have to help our listeners out. So Lagos, So Olamide is taking over Business Express from today. It's been 3 years. I'm moving on, but so just help out our listeners. You know how you do this now.
Yeah.
This initial judgment was against the Nigerian customs.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
and GTB
actually,
was the bank.
GTB had the deposits of Nigerian Customs Service. That's how GTB actually came in.
Right.
It wasn't a court. It wasn't a judgment against GTB.
Okay.
You understand? And then GTB, I mean, in trying to protect the deposit of its customers. I mean, the bank is meant to protect its clients, basically, and they tried to make an appeal to the Court of Appeal against the judgment from the High Court.
Okay.
But that was it was overruled, and also they appealed to the Supreme Court, and and the final judgment was for GTB to actually make the sum available. That's the amount being owed to the creditor.
Okay.
Which so all Innocent has actually gotten is a writ of FIFA, which gives him the authority, or he empowers him to actually get to seize the assets to up onto the tune of the amount to which it's owing, and it's not GTB.
Right.
It has to do with Nigerian Customs Service, and I mean the best case is for GTB's deposits. The deposit it currently has will reduce by the amount in which the Nigerian Customs Service has
owed to them.
So
all right.
It has nothing to do with seizing the back of the.
So Innocent is not taking over GTB. So,
if you hear anything contrary to that, it's fake news.
It's fake news. It's false. She's still on banking. Shall we go into some results or?
Sure.
Okay, you're running the show now, so it's your choice. So what do you want to do first?
Okay, we can start with FCMB.
All right, let's go into FCMB. Had a full year 2018 results, yeah?
Yeah, FCMB released its results last week. Full year was good. It was 74% higher. EPS at 76 kobo, and it was basically their stronger non-interest revenue, and also their lower impairment charge in the period. Also supporting them was the lower funding cost that they had. They declared a dividend payment of about 14 kobo, which is higher than the usual trend of 10 kobo, and that's a dividend yield of about 7%.
Okay.
Quarter on quarter, however, earnings wasn't so fantastic, just driven by they had higher OPEX during the period. Then they had lower non-interest income too. But the positive thing for them is over the during the quarter, they're able to increase their CASA. I think it went up to 71 billion.
Okay, another thing, Olamide, since you're taking over the show, we have
Current
to help us CASA.
It's the current and savings account of the bank.
And that's the current and savings.
That's the cheaper deposits for the bank.
But it's as a percentage of total deposits, right?
Deposits, yes.
You have to help our listeners, okay?
Yes.
All right,
so
cool.
That went up about 14% to about 71 billion. To about 71 billion, and then what you have is their CASA as a result of their total deposits is about 70% at the moment.
So it jumped.
Yes, it actually went up from about 67%.
Okay.
Understand. So it currently trades at a price to book of 0.21 times. We have a buy rating on the stock.
On the stock.
Currently it's about 234. Sorry, our fair value estimate about 234. So
all right. So remember though, before making any purchases, we do have a disclosure where you have to reach out to a brokerage service like ARM before making decisions. All right. What about Fidelity?
Similar case for Fidelity. Fidelity's earnings was also up full year, 29% up to 79 kobo. NIR was good. That's the non-interest revenue was good.
Yes, thank you.
And also the lower impairment charge that they had to, it helped them. They played initially they announced the dividend payment of about 22 kobo, and they later came back to say it's actually
I saw that.
And it implies a dividend yield of about 5%. Similar case with FCMB. Quarter on quarter wasn't fantastic. It was down 16% to 18 kobo. Had to do with their lower interest income, and also OPEX also affected them.
Okay.
Similar also to FCMB, they were able to grow their CASA by 73 billion, taking their CASA as a percentage of total deposits about 81.6%.
That's high.
Yeah.
Now, there's a suspicion, right? And I think I read it in your report that this sudden spike in deposits that we saw going to Fidelity and possibly going to FCMB might have come from
Diamond Bank.
Right.
Something. But we'll still need to get clarification
from management.
Yes.
I hope management will be transparent enough to tell you whether that's the case, because there was rumors that people were pulling money and moving to there.
True.
So what's your what's your rating for?
Our fair value estimate is currently 2 naira 92 kobo. We'll have a buy rating on the stock.
All right, so buy ratings on both FCMB and Fidelity. Good stuff.
So we have a myriad of messages.
Yes.
Nas from Kaduna says, "Oh wow, you're listening to us from Kaduna. Fantastic."
Yay!
He said, "Please, what is the effect of this innocent saga on deposits and shares of GTV?"
Well, what's the impact? I mean, if they move forward with this.
Well, I think what you would just find is the level of core of their deposits would actually reduce by the amount in which they are. But overall, we don't think it's. I mean, the company already it has over #1 trillion in its coffers as its current and savings account and all that. So,
thank you. Kehinde says, "OMG, Rotus moving on. All the best, man. Keep us posted on your new project."
Thank you, Kehinde. Again, I leave you in the capable hands of Olamide. She's going to take you guys down.
I'm moving on to you're staying here. Guy here. Ibrahim says, "Hi guys, Rotus, really? What a way to bring the news to us. That's deep, guys.
Don't worry, guys.
I like Olamide already. She sure sounds solid.
Olamide is going to hold you guys down. Don't you worry."
Christian says, "Rotus, so you're leaving Business Express? You lie."
No, it's not a lie. It's true.
Henry Manuel says, "Rotus, the man, dropping it on us like it's hot because it's hot. Great host."
Thank you, Manuel. Thank you.
"All along, I thought it was a case between GTB and Innocent. I do not understand when Customs came into the story. If the case is against Customs, why is GTB the party going to court? Customs is a government agency. How is it GTB's responsibility to defend them in court? If Innocent had a case against me and wanted to seize my deposits in GTB, would GTB take over the case or take up the case? The story is weird," he said.
That's a good point, but it's because, and in fact, I don't know, I was reading some stuff. GTB didn't have to appeal that judgment, right?
No, they didn't have to. But I mean, you also there's
a history
where you
of
need
beef
to protect your clients,
Yes.
and all of that.
Right.
They
didn't have to.
Emma from Makoka says, "Taking over a bank is not easy. It's not as easy as a PR pool. I do not appreciate misleading information from Innocent at all. Someone is pulling our legs in the studio. Rotus, is that you?"
It's not me.
We'll find that out later. And this one's from Obi. Obi says, "Rotus, all this talk about Olamide taking over the show and you moving on. You want to do us? Let's go.
I think he's
She
okay.
says, Roro, say what now? Anyway, Welcome, babe. We're already loving you.
See,
That's the-
she's already
Thank
loving you.
you.
There you go. Look at
Up
that.
to the point that they're calling her babe.
You see, they've
Okay.
affectionate already.
Okay, so this other one, Tosin from VI says, I'm sure this Olamide taking over the show is one. Okay. Chidozie says, good morning, guys. Please, the explanation on Innocent and GTB has got me confused. Please, GTB are in custody of the customs deposits. GTB was following up with the case right now. GTB lost, and Innocent has to sign some property. Whose person's property is Innocent taking over now? That's a question there.
Okay, GTB. So again, it's
still against the assets of Nigerian customs with
right.
GTB.
Exactly. So it's what the assets the money that customs has with GTB. That's the issue.
Yes.
That's the issue.
And then Wenga Kamu says, why do government agencies impede business activities? A government agency at the airports we gathered last week charged high rates, obstructing those who wanted to export through the airports.
It continues.
And that's a major challenge.
How much more time do we have?
We don't have any more
Okay,
time.
so Valentine, help us out before we confuse people, because some people were sharp enough to catch it. So you can.
Rotus is still here.
It's an April Fool's joke. So we can't beat some of our listeners. They are very sharp. That's why Valentine wasn't reading them. And some people caught it. It's April Fool's, so I'm not going anywhere. Olamide.
All right.
Thank you so much for. We had another joke, but Olamide didn't want to play that one, so we'll leave it at that.
I love my life.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for your messages as well.
Wedding bells. Coming up next at 7:30 Lagos, we bring you a detailed analysis on newspaper stories this morning inside a freshly pressed 9